Good evening, good day, good morning, good night. Welcome. Welcome back to Positive Rate. Wow, it's been a while. Full July off, and with me tonight I've got the amazing Nick. Nick, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Sorry, just ramped up the music there for some reason. Yeah, it's been a good break. It's been a good break.
Good.
Yeah,
Impressed.
and of course we also have the amazing designer, the elite Dark Fury. How you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thanks. How are you doing yourself?
Pretty rested. Pretty rested. It's been a long haul. It feels like we haven't spoken to each other for quite a while. But I don't know. Tell me about your summer. How are you doing? Hello, folks. Welcome back. I see a few people on the tarmac there, but yeah, Nick. I mean, what's new with you? What's happened? What's changed? Anything flight sim or otherwise?
I got myself a job.
Ooh,
I've been made redundant last year, so I'm back in work.
fantastic.
I did a little trip up to Manchester last week to meet Dark and Digital, who'd flown over from Canada. Kevin.
Yeah.
Jayhog. Spent the day at Manchester Airport. Lovely.
And I had the pleasure of seeing Digital up in Scotland. He came down to see me actually right in Tweed Valley, and it was right during a local festival. So there was a pipe band marching, and we had a couple beers, and I took him back to our humble abode and did a barbecue for him, just to feed him before I sent him on his way around Scotland. So yeah, it was really great to see him, and it was a shame that I couldn't see you guys. And I'll tell you, because it was the 25th that you guys met up.
Yes, I'd met Digital the week before down in London.
Yeah.
And it happened to be the hottest day of the year. That really hot day.
Yeah.
And so I met him in Greenwich. But unfortunately, everything had closed because it was so hot. So
It was a hot week.
we did a sightseeing tour, but then we just ended up at the pub drinking. So
As you do.
it was all good.
As you do. Absolutely. What about yourself, Dark? How was your summer so
Yeah,
far?
not too bad. Lost my job, ended up doing some more livery painting.
What the heck?
And had a good time. That 25th, we meeting all the guys and that, and sitting on Concorde.
All right. Yeah. Where'd you see the Concorde then?
It's actually in a hangar at the runway park outside. It's at the opposite side to the pub in Manchester. They've got a XJR BAE 146 there. You can go in and look in. There's Concorde in the hangar where you can sit in and tells you about Concorde. Generally, it were a really good day.
That's pretty cool. I know the Digital also went up to East Fortune Museum in Scotland there, and there's a Concorde there as well. So yeah, I've had a first-hand look. It's an incredible machine. It would have been something to see it fly, and I unfortunately never had the opportunity to see it actually fly. But you know what? There's news on the horizon, because Boom Aviation had a presence at Farnborough this year, and they're really talking up their new supersonic airliner. So strangely enough, it's only going to be about a 50-seater, which I thought was interesting. But it's I think they're saying that's not. I think they did say that will go Mach 2, but it can go pretty much close to Mach over land, so it's not breaking the sound barrier for noise abatement. And then once it gets over the water, poof, it just takes off. But the difference between the new one and the Boom Aviation design and the Concorde is there's no afterburners this time. So this is all driven off of what do you call it? Conventional engine thrust, which I thought was really interesting. Anyway, I'll just check in the chat here. So big hello to Sean Dale. Great to see you, sir, and Ollie. Fantastic to see you as well. I think there's Dwax in there somewhere as well. Shark Kitty saying not in the sky tonight shortly, but happy to be back. Well, that's all right. Who else did I see up here? I think Kevin popped in briefly, but maybe he'll come back. So Kevin, unfortunately, he's got other summer oriented activities going at the moment, but he is going to be joining back with the team probably in 2-3 weeks time. I think he mentioned. I'm not quite sure anyway, but yeah, so much is going on. I mean, there's big developments. So the first one is, I think, Dark, could you give us a bit of a teaser about the liveries you're working on?
Yeah, sure can. So as you know, we've got the positive rate liveries as we are. Now we've got the new logo and we've got other things in place. These are going to be what is known as legacy liveries, because they're going to get a fresh lick of paint. They're still going to be available to download, but as of next week, we're going to promo our Turbo Arrow new livery, and then we'll probably go one by one through the Warrior all the way up to the 737-700.
Fantastic! I can't wait to see what they look like, and of course there's the other big news. I don't know. Should I say? Should I tell everyone? So we've picked up a new sponsor, and I'm absolutely excited beyond the pale to announce this. I informed the team last night following a key discussion. So long story short, Orbix is going to be joining Positive Rate as an official sponsor of the stream, and we're all absolutely blown away by it. So we're still working out some details with them right now to see how Orbix can best support us, but also we want to support them as well. So we're still kind of ironing out the details. So I can't really say much in terms of what that sponsorship's going to become. But regardless of what the details are, it is absolutely fantastic and a really exciting time for us. And a huge shout out to Sante, Orbix, and of course Maz for giving us the green light. Really looking forward to having a fantastic new partnership with, I think, quite possibly one of the best distributors for flight sim software in the world. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but they've got some fantastic scenery, some fantastic aircraft, and we're just all very excited. So, I mean, what was your reaction, Nick, when you found out?
It's like every single Christmas all in one.
It is. It really is.
I love Orbix. Well, Dark will tell you. He's seen a screenshot of my Orbix Central. Stuff I just get from them, because it's just it's just top quality every time.
It is, and it's certainly one of the probably. Sorry, change the song here. Ooh, that's a good one. Get a bit bluesy here. Yeah, I mean, same. Everything on there is amazing. The scenery, the aircraft, some of the utilities that they distribute as well, and some of the mesh that you can get from Orbix is absolutely amazing. So we're really looking forward to working out details of the sponsorship, but hopefully very soon we're going to be showcasing quite a few things from Orbix over the next year or so, and it's just really exciting times, and as you mentioned, I can't go into any more detail right now because we're still working at the nature of the sponsorship, but rest assured there will be some exciting streams and possibly some giveaways as well, but I can't say anything just yet, so we'll see anyway. So huge shout out to Orbix. We're absolutely delighted and ecstatic and amazed and humbled that Orbix wants to come on board with Positive Rate, and it's all of you guys as well. Hopefully we're going to see some really fantastic stuff coming up. Anyway, okay, so we're well into waffle territory, as Dark would say. So I think I better jump into this airplane as soon as I figure out why
can we just before we do go further, you start your nice looking aircraft, can we just get a shout out for Just Flight as well?
Just Flight, of course, yes. Very good point. And of course, the best way to do that is to put the spotlight on our tried and true Piper Arrow. It's been with us the whole time. Great to see Nick and Dark flying it today. Actually, it could be Sean, could be one of those could be shown, because I think Dark, you're on a different server, obviously. And I can see Beluga off in the distance in the 747, waiting in the trees like a giant monster ready to go. So yeah, yes, absolutely. Just Flight, we're still very much delayed that Just Flight have been with us. They were our founding sponsor. They've really treated us well and gave us our start. And of course, we're going to be having a chat with them soon as well, and possibly look at some additional things that we might do with Just Flight as well. So yeah, so it's amazing time. Orbix, Just Flight, two fantastic distributors, all supporting us and supporting you, and yeah, it's good times. Really good times. Right. So the route today. Get this thing powered up first.
Is that the corporate pilot that has messaged you?
Was that it?
The corporate pilot dad has sent you a little message there.
Has he?
On stream nowadays, yes.
He says they let anyone stream nowadays. Yes, yeah, okay, see it now. Yes, Tim, how you doing? Corporate pilot dad. Good friend of mine and a fantastic streamer. Go check out his content. Just look for the Corporate Pilot Dad on YouTube, and I think you're on TikTok as well, aren't you, Tim? So, place I can't go, but there you go. Yeah. Yes, I'm doing very well. Week off, month off. So we're gonna hop into this bad boy twin Cessna 310 and get things going. But yeah, I hope you're doing well as well. And Sean says, Just Flight Aero Turbo 3, great plane, and the BA 146. Is truly out of this world and a real fan favorite. I absolutely wholly agree with you, Sean, on that. It is absolutely brilliant plane. And Corporate Pilot Dad says, yes, TikTok, the biggest wasteland on the internet. Yeah.
Could be worse. Willie's doing only planes.
Well. Yeah. Anyway, let's get the mixture up here, and we'll get the prime on and turn on some pumps. Actually, low. There we go. Start engine 1. Did it start? No, it didn't start. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Oh, magnetos. That would help. There we go. She's springing to life. Oh, bring up those sim noises as well. Okay, there we go. Start up left, right engine, sorry. Okay, so yes, flight plan. So, if I can zoom in here. So we're going to be taking off from Dauphin Island here, and we've got a few stops to make. Which this flight plan looks a bit peculiar. I'm not quite sure why it does, but anyway, we'll hit. I had a list here somewhere. The route's at the bottom anyway. Yeah, we got a few airports to land at, so I think. Rather than digressing into where we're going, we're flying along the coastline of the southern coastline of Louisiana, and we're going to end up in New Orleans, do a nice kind of fly over New Orleans, and we'll land at, there's a small airstrip at the north of New Orleans right against the water there, which looks really fantastically beautiful, so we're going to do that, yeah. Anyway, you can tell I'm out of practice. Corporate Pilot Dad says, once tried to start a Cessna 421 with the mags off. Epic fail, yeah. Yeah. So I feel a bit better, because if you've done it in real life. And Ollie says, what country are you from? If in the UK, we start the school year in September, and I haven't heard of anywhere that starts mid-August. Scotland does. Scotland does, Ollie, so that's where I am. The kids will be taking off at that point as well. Anyway. So let's see what happens. Right. I think if everyone wants to ramble out, I am using live weather at the moment, but I don't actually know where the winds are coming from. Nick or Dark, I don't know if you have any advice that way.
No. I just thought we'd wing it.
I think we'll start at the runway end closest to us. It says 5 knots. Actually, it's behind us, so I think we need to probably... let's do it right. So if anyone wants to ramble off to the far end of the runway from the apron here and line up, and we'll get going.
According to the Meta station, this airport doesn't exist.
Yeah, it does exist. It's definitely in the sim. It does exist on some things, but I think I noticed that Volanta doesn't have it for some reason, which I found very curious.
Volanta does, because it's showing me that here.
Oh, it does have it,
Yeah.
okay.
That's how I know where your guys are going, because I'm going to use Volanta to follow you.
Alright, fair enough. And you can see the windsocks filling in a bit there as well. And Sean says the other end of the runway to where parked. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if that was a question or a statement, Sean. And Ollie says you learn something new every day. Yes, you do. You absolutely do, especially when it comes to aviation. Every day's a school day. So says Tim, if are you in front of a desk right now? Are you able to join us on voice? If you can, let us know. Just pop into the server there, and we'll try and pull you in. Some stunning cloud formations actually with the live weather today. It's really nice.
I did a flight today into Toronto. Amazing
Oh, did you?
Cloud, amazing weather, yeah.
You did get some pretty crazy weather in the summer, actually. I must admit, a lot of thunderheads and things like that. Tim says, yes, you might hear the kids hooting and hollering upstairs. That's not a problem, Tim. If you just want to pop in, I don't know if Shark is around at the moment. There's a way to pull him into the chat. And Beluga says, nose wheel steering not working. Oh, it's interesting.
I could pull him in if need be, Willie.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Start.
Yeah, you might hear the kids in the background.
I think, Dark, if you join the creative content creators voice channel, I think Dark should be able to drag you over from there. Yes, Shark Kitty, if you could assist on that, that'd be great. So yeah, we'll get a quick conversation with Tim, see how he's doing. Always great to hear from him. Now this is we've got quite a bit of distance to cover, so it's going to be 150 knots for this one, guys.
Okay.
It should make life a bit easier for Beluga.
Mach 3. Oh wait, it's a Boeing. Mach 30.
That's it. I gotta remember what all my buttons do here. There we go. First degree of flaps. And Vruden's just joined in. He says, what's all this then? Oh, Vruden, how are you doing? We're back. Sorry, excuse me when I cough on the lungs. Now, I have just recently recovered from man flu, or a head cold as some people call it. So, yes, I'm not totally 100%, but I'm just about there. But just as well there wasn't a stream last week, because I don't think I could have managed it. Everyone says, can't fly today. I've been working on the Corvette air conditioning because it's 100 Fahrenheit outside. Ouch. Yeah, priorities. There goes Beluga, so I think I will throttle up as well, and let's go. Oh, before we do that, I better get my lights on. You know what? I'm not following any kind of procedure here at all. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. No lights, no strobes, no anti-collision. Get those landing lights on as well. And if we pop out the front, you should see that they're on. I love the Cessna 310 is great because it actually has retractable landing lights, which is just so cool. Absolutely cool. So yeah. And Kevin's in. He says, "Best hit the road. I don't want to be late to work." Oh, Kevin, thank you for popping in. Great to see you. And hopefully we'll get you back on stream very soon. Positive rate, gear up. Just listen to the purr of those twin engines. Bring the flaps in. We'll just fly over this glistening water. I think we'll aim for 2,000 feet today. Make some volume adjustments here because it's getting a touch loud. And pilot stuff, Brandon, how you doing? He says, "Hi mate, how you doing, Brandon? How are you?" Well, at least you can comment on my stream. So, a pilot was up on stream. I think it was a couple days ago, wasn't Brandon? And I kept sending messages and nothing was coming through, and I could see everyone else. I'm like, oh, I must have offended them. I don't know what I've done. So, no, fantastic to see you, Brandon. I hope you're doing well. And Bluga says, "I don't know if it's my sim or if it's the plane nothing working today." Yeah, I'm kind of having a similar feeling at the moment, if I'm being honest, Bluga. Now, let me see if I can remember how to... It's altitude, isn't it? For 2,000. Something like that. There we go. That should take us up. I don't know why it's not following the flight plan here. Slightly off course. So let's kick that into action here. And GPS. F.
So did you say 150?
150, yes. I'm going probably slightly faster than that. Let's try and find the sweet spot. Oh, right. You gave the right stick to Tim. So does that mean he can join the staff chat? Is that what you're saying, Sharp? So Tim, if you want to see if you can join the staff chat there, that'd be great. This reminds me, this is why I always say that we should be using the clubhouse. There you go. And look at that beautiful livery there. Absolutely stunningly rendered airplane. And this is from Milviz. You can buy this direct from milviz.com, or you can also go to Orbix as well. But really, really fun airplane, beautifully rendered. The sound package in this is absolutely second to none. And yeah, just an all-round fantastic twin. Nice high-performance twin. It's not a high-altitude twin, but it is quite a peppy airplane. You can definitely get 170 knots out of it, no problem. You think he's away from keyboard? Yeah, I'm sure I'll be back in a minute. If you could just ping him a message, Shark, on Discord, that'd be great. And we can see that the that's picking up the course now, so we'll say hello to everybody else. What's that?
I've got engine overheating. Morning.
Do you?
See how?
Open the cowls. I don't know if that still applies, but he's been pinged. Okay, thank you, Shark Kitty. Appreciate it. We can see a bunch of people in the back. I'm sure they'll catch up at some point. I might actually, what I'll do is I'll slow down the airplane a little. Give everyone a chance to catch up to me. Anyway, yeah. So, anyway, what, Nick, I'll start with you. What are the new exciting developments that you've seen in the flight simulation market that you're excited for?
Well, PMGG obviously brought out the 600 variant.
They did, yeah.
And I said to myself, no, Nick, don't get it. And then when I saw the price, I was like, go on then. Yeah, I'll take it. So
now,
I've been a sucker to their marketing ploy.
Now, can you just buy that on its own?
Yes.
You can. So that's a different thing, because in the old days you used to have to get the base package and then you had to buy all the extra stuff.
There is no base package, so it's an ideal entry point for a high fidelity aircraft.
Brilliant.
I think because it's not many airlines now have the 600.
Yeah.
That's why the price drop was low. So it's an ideal type. So if you didn't get the 700, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to wait for the 800. But you're feeling left out. You just want to practice and have a go, see what it's all about. At that price entry point, I think it's fantastic for what it is.
Oh, and what is it? Is it 35 US?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that for the quality and fidelity of the airplane, 35 pounds or dollars is insane, actually, because that's now putting it well under the Fenix, which is probably the closest competitor, I would say, to the PMDG.
The only thing I would say is obviously PMDG are doing these. As you said, there's no base package. They're doing everything is separate.
Yeah.
So we've had the 700. We've now got the 600. We're going to get the 800. You're going to have to pay for each one. Phoenix have obviously said you're going to pay once, and we will update. So I know that they're doing their engine variants. So we're going to have different models, but that's all going to be for free. So I still think Phoenix is value for money.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the PMDG have just stepped in there and gone, you know what? As far as we've worked out, not many people are going to buy it. So let's drop the price, and it just lets it out there for more people that will probably sitting on the fence going, oh, do I actually want to get this or not?
Exactly. Yeah, it becomes it kind of pushes it well into impulse purchase territory, doesn't it? When it's but
exactly what I did.
But the one thing I say it's a kind of a double win, and now Sean's saying upset they pay $70 for the 700, but you still need to pay $35 for the 600. Why did I wait? No discount for previous owners. Fair point, Sean. It probably is a solid argument there. Obviously, we don't necessarily understand how PMDG look at their marketing and what they think is value for money, but versus what they need to do to be sustainable. So yes, I think even if they'd just given like a token 15-20% off for previous owners, I think that might have been nice. All you can do is just mention it to them in the support forums, and perhaps they might listen and do something about it. But for $35 for people that haven't yet bought the PMDG, who are interested in a high fidelity 737 model, sure, maybe the 600 isn't the first one you go for, but hey, for that price, you're still getting all the same quality, you're still getting the same experience. It's just a shorter range, obviously, but absolutely fantastic deal. Really fantastic deal.
Can I just say that the 600 is the baby, the 700 is the step up, the 800 on the max, whichever way you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's going to be the highest price, but you've got to consider that because there's no base package, each aircraft is a separate aircraft. They've
Yes.
just been updated systems together, so they're not. Yes, they are the series, and yes, there's no discounts. But if you look at it, all they're doing is producing 4 different aircraft, and only the same things between them are the systems. So
Right.
like they've just updated the LNAV with the 600, so they've
Mm-hmm.
updated the 700 with the updated LNAV. It's still a different aircraft, it's just the LNAV that's been updated between all of them.
Yeah, fair enough. And you know, I think that's a great approach. I like the idea that they've made it separate packages. Tell you what, guys, just to make this really easy, because Brandon, I'm hoping you can maybe join us as well. Can we all just jump into the Content Creators Voice channel? I'm going to go there right now. So we'll just wait for everybody to come over.
Yeah, I'm putting it over.
Hopefully Nick heard us. There you go. So Tim, Brandon, we are now in the Content Creators Voice channel. You can join us there if you're open to saying hello.
Did someone move me, or did I do it? I don't know.
And Brandon says, I'll be able to hop in a bit later to take my dog for a walk. No worries. We'll be here for at least another hour or so, Brandon. So, yeah, perfect. And Shark says, I guess I could cancel the ride. Yes, please do. Just to make it easy. So, Tim, if you go to the Positive Rate Discord server, Content Creators Voice channel, that's where we are. Now, I'm just going to take a quick look to see how far we are from the airport. Yeah, we are coming up to it now. So I'm going to keep a lookout. And I'm sorry, I did have a list of what these airports were written down, but I've lost the list, or it's been moved off my desk by some mysterious person who shall remain unnamed. And all he says, I'm still very proud of my 700 regardless, because it's just so much fun to fly. And I've had so much fun learning it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure a lot of people agree with you, Ollie. Definitely better than the 320 for sure. Fair enough. I mean, I think it comes down to personal taste. I in the old days I would have said yes. I preferred the Boeing, but since I've come to know the Airbus 320, I really respect the Airbus cockpit for what it does and why it's such a safe airplane to fly. It's two different things. I think with the 737, it's a bit more manual. Maybe it's a bit more something to sink your teeth into. Personally, I would love to see any air studio come out with a 757. That is my golden child. If I don't care how much it costs, if someone puts out a high fidelity 757, which is comparable to the quality of the Fenix or the PMDG, I will pick that up, because that, to me, it's an airplane I love to fly on. I love to look at it. It's such a high performance aircraft. It's got a great range, and yeah, I would love to get it. And I love the 757, 767 common cockpit as well.
Funnily
Next
enough,
year.
yeah, they've just released pictures of the high fidelity cockpit for the 757.
Who's doing that one?
I can't remember. I'll find out a lot.
It's some developer working with Just Flight.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'll put the link in the chat.
Brilliant. So yeah, if anybody's interested, go check out that link. And Bluga says, I also love the 757. Different story about the 767, though. All right. Well, 767 was, I mean, they're both based on, they're both designed at the same time. The 767 was just a wide body with a, I think a slightly, well, no, the 767 had a tremendously larger range, actually, especially the long ER version. I think it had quite a range, like 6 to 7,000 nautical miles or something like that. Whereas the 757 is around the 4,000 mark. But I often used to take that to transatlantic to Canada, between UK and Canada. So, right, I'm looking for this airport. I think I'm probably flying over the top of it.
If you've noticed anything between the 757, 767 and 737, there's nothing, and the 747, you'll notice in the Boeing that nothing really has changed in the cockpit, except for either glass panels or more buttons, until the Dreamliner come, where they started going like full LCD panels, glass panels.
Yeah, and I think tend to think the 767 was probably the last that still had quite a few, kind of that mixture of glass and steam. 777, though, there's not a huge difference between the 777, the original 777 and the 767, but obviously once you get into the Dreamliner, completely different story entirely.
Yeah, when they do when they launch the 777X, that's going to be completely different as well, because that's going to be similar to the Dreamliner.
Yes.
Which I hope at some point that somebody will bring out the new 777X than rather have Captain Scams.
Yeah. And I guess there's probably a large argument that, because I personally am looking forward to the Synapse Airbus 220, but again, that is a very, very modern cockpit.
Interesting in November.
Say again?
It'll be interesting to see what happens in November, because you've got Inabill's A310 coming out, you've got the DC-3 coming out as well, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I completely agree. Has anyone spotted the runway yet? I'm looking for it.
I'm following you.
Brandon says he can't join.
You can't join the voice channel, right? I'm sure Shark Kitty will take a quick look into that for you, Brandon.
Oh wow, I've just overflown the airport and not realised.
Yeah, I don't think it's the most obvious airstrip. According to my map here, I should be flying near it, so if I can at least get a visual on it, I can do a circuit. Oh, there it is. That's going a completely different direction than what is indicated on the map. I presume that's it there is, or is that a highway? No, that's maybe a highway. That's a
Hey,
highway.
can you guys hear me? I just joined the voice chat.
Is that you, Tim?
Yes, it's me.
Yes, we can hear you. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hi, Tim.
Hello.
I think I might try a hot landing here.
Oh, is that the runway? Wow.
See you heading down over to the left.
Surrounded by trees. Always surrounded by trees. It wouldn't be Microsoft Flight Simulator if it wasn't surrounded by trees. Oh. No, no, no. Oh, first crash of the year.
Yep.
Oh dear. What are we gonna do?
That's not good.
That's what I get for being cocky. So we'll launch back in. If everyone wants to line up at land at that airport, I'll join you there shortly. Dear, oh dear. It figures as soon as Tim comes on, that's when we're going to make it like an absolute terrible schoolboy, beyond terrible error.
Yeah, I'll keep track of all these crashes and we'll discuss them later. What you did wrong.
What I did wrong, pretty much everything. Oh dear, oh dear. Now, I don't know if there's a way to advance. Can't remember how the easiest way to do this. You know what, I'm going to have to just... How do you start mid-route? That's the question. Prudence says butter.
Butsley.
Where am I going? What's it doing?
Absolutely fantastic. I think what I want to do is probably slew. Alright, I think what we'll do...
Have you tried FS Realistic, Willie?
No, I haven't.
I'm trying this for the first time today in this aircraft.
Alright.
It's amazing.
Woo! Well, that's not gonna help. I need to find people here. I need to see if I'm going the right direction, which is not easy to do. If I take it off... Ah, VFR map might help, huh? Sorry about this. It was such a well-laid plan. There we go. Okay, there we go. So... Okay, I can see you guys in the distance, I think.
Willie, how did you find this airport? Or like, how did you choose it?
How did I choose it? I think I used Little Nav Map, so I was looking for a route that was going to end in New Orleans, and I just kind of searched about for reasonable airstrips.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, there's absolutely no reason why this couldn't have been an absolutely successful stream with a perfect landing on that first airport. You know, except Willie, really. So, is there an apron around there? Anyway, right, here we go. So I think I'll park it there. Magic. Hello. Okay, here we go.
It's like a helicopter, but with your system on it.
That's it. Oh, all sorts of weird. Oh, there's a weird throttle thing going on there, actually. I think it's probably because of the Control-E thing. That'll learn me. Okay, let's... Pumps on. So, Tim, how's life with you and things in general?
Well, things with me are pretty good. The schedule was kind of slow, and now it exploded and got really busy. So I'm kind of bummed. I don't like a busy flight schedule.
Yes, I know.
And I was getting ready to start doing streams on the 15th, and now I fly that day. So,
oh, really?
Oh, the 16th. Yeah, it's only because I have something planned, and that has always been a thing with aviation and flying professionally. You can have a whole month where you're not doing anything, but you pick one day to do something, you get a trip that day.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, it's a problem I think a lot of us would love to have, but you know, at the end of the day, you know,
it still becomes a job. Somebody told me that early on. It was a friend that also flies corporate, and he's about 10 years ahead of me in that game, and I said, oh, it's not going to become a job, and he goes, oh, it will. I promise you, it becomes a job, and it does. People can say it doesn't, and it never will for them, but it absolutely does.
Yeah.
But it's still a good job. It's a fun job. I would not do well with a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job. So
yes.
I can't complain too
exactly.
much.
Yeah. So we're all born to our cause, I think. Now I've got an interesting problem here. I've got an engine gauge out. I think there's a way to. Let me see if I can do this. Configuration. Is there an option to get this thing going, I wonder? Oh, dear, oh dear. Okay, I'm not going to get very far on one engine. Sorry, I catch up in the chat here. So, yeah, that plane can really move, absolutely. Dwax says, yo, how you doing, Dwax? Great to have you along. We're having all sorts of technical and fun issues, basically because I completely blew up the landing. So, I don't know if there's a way I can fix this, unfortunately.
And I have to comment on Vruden the Great's comment. He had a corporate pilot tell him you're a bus driver where the bus only stops once. That is true most of the time. Most of the time when we fly, it's one leg and we're done. Sometimes two. There's been days where I've done 3 or 4, but for the most part it's one and done.
Yeah.
And then sit for a few days.
I can't get this gauge to recover. I guess the slewing might have messed us up. How do I fix
Does that
this?
have working circuit breakers?
Ooh. Yeah, possibly.
Is one of them out? Has it done that before? It's that right engine monitor, correct?
Yes. Where would I look for that?
Engine gauge. I'm not sure which engine gauge that is. See on the top row.
Yeah, I think I've tripped
Kind
that
of in
one.
the middle. Yeah, right there. Nope, nothing. Try your avionics off and back on it. Maybe see what that does. I don't know if that's tied into it or not. I don't have this airplane on flight sim.
Yeah, I think the engine gauges are actually independent of that.
Do a two-turn Murphy and just pressing buttons.
Or just go without it.
Fly with one engine. Yeah, that's going to be a pain in the butt.
Is the right engine started? I missed that part if it is.
Left engine started, but no, I was trying to start the right engine.
Oh, maybe it comes on after you start?
So I got fuel, I've got primers on, magneto. Oh, no magnetos. Dolt! Alright, I'm going home. See you guys later.
There we go. Oh,
There it goes.
no.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
I come back, I see pilot stood in a hunt flying over me and Will is leaving the room. God damn it.
I don't know. How many epic fails can I do at once? We'll see.
What
Anyway,
was it? Magnetos.
Magnetos.
You need a post-it note stuck in the middle of your monitor.
I think I
It
need
says Magnetos.
I need a tattoo on my forehead in a big mirror.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, what it needs is a big sticker that says X-Men.
Now, unfortunately, I've lost my flight plan, so I'm gonna have to program this in somehow if I can remember. Flight plan. Oh no, it's got a flight plan there. So we're at 502, the next one is KG. No, it's in there.
What?
Strange. Flight plan's missing.
Nice flyby, pilot stood. Nice flyby.
Okay.
See, I've got friends now.
All right, I'm gonna take off. I think, is everyone else in the air already, or I'm just sitting on the tarmac waiting for me? Right. Okay.
I was going to say, Dark, how are you seeing other people? But yeah, I just realised it's just clicked.
Yeah. Fortunately, I can't send too much because the NDA was with it light, but it's nice to have some friends.
Okay, Nick, Sean, you guys take off. I'm probably gonna follow you, but
Okay.
I'll play follow the leader this time. I'll drop some flaps.
Oh god, I've left my window open.
You didn't want to do that. Yeah, like my flight plan's in there, but for whatever reason, it's not tracking. So I shall play follow the leader. Keep this train going. I presume you're flying the plan now, are you not?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay. No pressure.
No, none.
Sean says, suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Yeah, there's all sorts of interpretations we could take from that. And Ollie says, I'm off to Slovakia tomorrow flying Wizz Air. Ooh, that's an airplane I haven't flown before. There we go. We are in business. So, is there anything in the handbook, Tim, about if you lose navigation but you got a friend to fly with, you can just follow him?
No, not really, but you could just follow them. So why isn't the GPS working? Is that which one is that? Is that the PMS 50 or whatever?
It's the add-on one, yeah, which is really good when it's working. But I don't know if I've caused possibly a slight issue.
Yeah, I have the TDS GTNXI that looks just like that. The TDS one is awesome.
Is that the one? I think that's the one that Shark Kitty prefers. Can't remember.
Yeah, I really like that. And it's that one's a work or still being. They're looking into features all the time on that thing. But
yeah,
it's going to be a constant improvement. I really like it.
I might. I think this one was a subscription, so I think I got it for a year, and then what I might do is just drop it and pick up the other one, which is a outright purchase.
Yeah, because I think the other one is $40 or $50 US. But yeah, I highly recommend the TDS version, and it's easy to program.
I should be able to say actually, if I check this, it'll tell me. Yeah, I've got the PM550, so the TDS is the one that you think is... And this supports both, which is cool.
Yeah, I've used both, and the TDS is
one. Yeah. I think Shark Kitty would agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
Yeah.
Right, where are my people? They're over here somewhere.
Do you even have a route programmed into the GPS?
I do, yeah, I do. If I go to... flight plan. Yeah, there it is. Unless I activate, maybe I just need to activate the leg. So we were just at 5R2. Activate leg. Oh, there we go.
Or do that and then go
let's try that now.
Do Gulfport and then direct. There you go.
Still not giving me a line though.
I think you went. Go back. Do that again.
Right. Let me do this from this side.
Enter.
Flight plan, KGBT, activate leg. Okay. Unless I'm way outside the plan. Oh, I think this is where things kind of went belly up here a bit. Yeah, it's coming up for a landing, so let's try and do this right. Somewhere around here is a runway. Oh, it keeps doing that. Have you found the airport, Nick? I think this flight plan might be a bit squirrely, actually.
Are we heading for Kilo Golf Papa Tango?
We are indeed.
Okay. According to mine, I'm 5 miles away, so I guess I should be looking now.
It's down there in the ether somewhere.
Oh, actually, is that? Ah, I've got it, I think. I have an airport anyway. Quite a big airport.
Yeah, it is quite a big airport, yeah. I see it now. Looks like there is a see a runway 30 or a 31.
Scenery is stunning.
It is a beautiful area. It is, and one interesting thing when the United States refresh come out, this is one of the areas that apparently was highly detailed. So New Orleans is quite detailed when we eventually get to it. And Ollie says, "Gotta head off now. Enjoy the rest of the flight." Ollie, thank you for coming along, mate. It's always great to see you.
So you're gonna buy some bourbon then when we get to New Orleans?
What's that? Bourbon.
You're gonna buy some bourbon.
Yeah, and some shrimp gumbo, I think.
I think the good bourbon's in Kentucky.
True. I'm sure there'll be lots of nice bourbon in New Orleans. I can see Nick's coming in low. So I'm just going to circle out here for a bit. Give myself lots of time to come in and do it properly this time rather than try to hot dog it. Lead off some airspeed. And we'll drop the gear. Stage of flaps. Keep an eye on our airspeed this time, which is unusual for me to make a mistake on, but I guess having a month off. Now, Tim, here's an interesting question for you.
Hopefully I have an interesting answer.
So we've taken July off. Now, as simmers, I think all of us are probably a little bit rusty. What do you consider as an actual professional commercial pilot if you take an extended period of time away from the job? What kind of things do you have to think about before you return to duty?
Some of the basic... The thing I notice, if I don't fly for over 2 weeks, I do get rusty.
Yeah.
I will notice things like a switch that I want to push, and I can't find it as fast as I normally do. Because normally, sitting in the cockpit doing a pre-flight, you want to turn on, hit a certain switch, or turn on landing lights, you reach straight for. You can do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
But after about 2 weeks, that starts to fade away. And the same with the controls. I fly 2 different types of jets. So if I fly one, and then I don't fly the other for 2 weeks, I start to lose the feel for the other one. It comes back very, very fast. But I think the longest I went was during the pandemic was 6 weeks without flying. But
Wow.
I jumped back in the airplane. I had to give myself a little bit more time to get it ready, like an extra 10 minutes. But once I got in the airplane, I was fine. But also I had been flying that airplane at the time for about 9 years. And I probably had a couple thousand hours in it. So it's like putting on an old pair of pants.
That's a great way to put it. Just for the benefit of everyone, could you just let everyone know the types you fly and kind of the routes you fly?
Yeah, I fly 2 types of business jets right now. One is a Gulfstream G200. I've been in that airplane since 2011.
Yeah.
So 10 years, or over 11 years on that one. And then I fly a Citation XLS Plus, which everybody's familiar with the CJ4 in Flight Sim. It's the next model up from that one that's still being produced. It's about the same speed. The CJ4 might be a little bit faster, but the XLS Plus is a little bit bigger. It has a little bit more range.
Yeah, I seem to recall that you favor the Gulfstream, don't you?
I do. There's more room. I can get up, you can walk around a little bit. The Citation is just cramped. There's hardly any room to put a jacket in the wintertime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how many seats would you get on a Citation then?
9. You get 9 on both.
9, so that's fair
And
size.
Most business jets of this size, 9's the limit. It's not the limit, but most of them, like you see a business jet out on the ramp, 9 seats inside. You get more than that, then they start getting into things like flight attendants. And then you get
fair enough.
big Gulfstreams. They'll have like 12 capacity for like 12 to 15 or 17. But the G200 can actually be outfitted. The interior can be changed with a different seating configuration that you can actually put. I think you can fit 19 people in it.
19.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wouldn't want to do it, but that 19 seat limit, you get over that, then you need more flight attendants. There's different stuff going on. With
Sure. And this comes down to regulations, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I seem to have a slightly more successful landing this time around, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of a pat in the back, but I'll give myself a punch in the face after for the first landing, or not so.
So do you know, flying this 310, if you look real close to the airspeed indicator, there's two lines, two radial lines. There's a blue line and red line. Do you know the difference between those two?
I believe. Right. Hang on. Well, let me just stop the airplane here, and we'll take a look at this. So, okay. So now, no, I don't. I'm gonna say okay. I don't. I thought this was like a minimum safe speed before stall. But I know on this model is very comfortable landing at a solid 90 knots under power.
Yeah, which you can do when the runway's made. So the blue line is your single engine best rate of climb speed. So a single engine airplane will have VY, which is just best rate of climb. Mm-hmm. So that blue line, the airplane is going to climb the best on one engine at that speed, and you never want to go below that speed until the runway's made. The red line, basically, if you get to that speed with full power, your rudder doesn't have enough control force to stop the airplane from turning towards the dead engine.
Ah, right. So this is
pull that airplane over, and the rudder can't counteract that turning force.
So if you have an engine failure on takeoff, what does that mean then? What's the kind of series of events?
You go to that blue line.
You'd have to go with that blue line. Yeah.
Yeah, the blue line is going to give you the best performance on one engine, but then you'd have to get the airplane cleaned up. There's a saying we have for that: identify, verify, feather, and then you get to a safe altitude and then go to the checklist.
Fantastic. There you go. Learn something every day.
Yeah, and the airplane won't climb very well, and these airplanes are not guaranteed to have the ability to climb, even if you're at blue line. If you're at a heavy weight, you may not be able to climb if it's hot enough. But like a jet, like the CJ4 and bigger airplanes, you're guaranteed to have positive climb performance on one engine.
Which is pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, and there will be sometimes.
Not all twins can do that. I think, as an example, the Seminole is not particularly competent on a single engine, is it?
No, and the adage is, with airplanes like these, that running engine is just enough power to take you to the scene of the accident. Because it won't climb, and that's where you're going to end up.
Yeah. Scary things. Scary things.
But if you're light enough, they will climb. I did my multi-engine training in a 1956 Piper Apache. Nice. 160 horsepower per side. And that thing would still climb on one engine even in the winter, in the summertime when it was 80, 90 degrees outside. But
wow,
if the airplane was fully loaded with fuel, max cruise takeoff weight, and you had an engine failure, it may not climb very well.
And Sean's saying the other P-28 looks to have the rear baggage door open. Is that you, Nick?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking for my luggage now.
You got a suitcase flying out the back, do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's brilliant, Tim. Really interesting. Thank you for that little tidbit of knowledge. I think it's it's really neat. It's funny because I think in simulation we take a lot of these things for granted. We think we know what the answer is, but it actually takes a proper pilot to give us a bit of an education. So it's quite good. And
I haven't thought about that stuff at all until about the last week. Because we don't have those lanes in jets. Yeah. The only speed we go to when an engine fails is V2.
Right. Yeah, of course. And Jayhog's just coming. He says, "Good evening. I finally made it." Jayhog, fantastic to see you. So glad you're along. Hopefully you can fly with us today. We are at, where are we? We're at Kilo Golf Bravo Tango. So if you spawn in with us and you can follow the group. What's the next one on our list here, Nick? Is it... Can't quite see it on my own screen.
66 Yankee?
What, Yankee? I'm not too sure whether that's a waypoint or an airport.
Yeah, the flight plane's a little bit squirrely, so I don't know why that's happened, because when I saved it, it looked fine. Sorry, so this is 66 Yankee. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diamond Head, Mississippi.
I'm just trying to see if I can see it on the map here. I know Kilo November Echo Whiskey's our final destination. Oh, sorry. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it. Yeah. Okay, doke. I know roughly where we're going then. Okay, if everybody wants to get airborne, let's get going up again. And we'll keep trucking on. Sean says then we come back to 66 Yankee to this point before the final leg. That's correct, Sean. Yeah. So if you want to aim for that, go ahead. Jayhawk says I see north. I'm blind. Right. All right. So let's not do this in a panic and actually get things on here. So get those landing lights on. Any collision? Strobe. Don't need any pitot heat. I think it's warm enough.
In the citation, if we don't use pitot heat, we get a little message. We turn it on. Turn it on at takeoff. It stays on the whole flight.
Just a standard? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, I guess a slight, the biggest difference obviously with a jet, you are flying at substantially higher altitude. So even on a warm day, there's still that potential.
Yeah, it'll get cold, but it keeps it warm because chances are you're going to fly through some kind of precipitation or just a cloud.
Yeah.
And that way it's warming up, but it's with all that airflow around it, it can't get that hot.
Yeah. Positive Reek, you're up. Don't know if anybody wants to try out one of our memes just to see if they're working. I haven't checked that today yet. Oh yeah, we could have used that earlier. Oh. That's right, I know what that problem is. There we go. Sorry, I had that muted, but yeah. I really could have used that earlier. Actually, there you go, Dark. You can use the crash meme.
And if you want a radial, you can do Gulfport VOR at 109.0, and about the 255 radial should take you to that airport. Or not radial, but 255. Yeah, 255 radial. You're going from it.
Yeah, I'll check that on. Let's see. 600 all. 3,000 feet, please. Now, there was a little trick to this, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
I see you haven't installed the waffle beam.
Not yet. Okay, I'm roughly on course. Sorry, I know there was a VOR that you gave me there.
Yeah, 109.0 is Gulfport. It's straight behind you right now.
109 flat.
Yep. Yeah, you can just hit transfer and it'll go in there. There you go. And then about the 255 radial. So just point that. Yeah, 255, and it should take you pretty close to it.
Sounds good to me. Thank you very much.
Yep.
It's like having a co-pilot.
Yeah. What is that on 260? That still might work.
Well, it's flying direct too. So I basically just turned the course until it was pointing
There, you know,
right on the
GPS.
beam. Yeah, rather than having to turn it. I get it. It is slightly.
Yep.
Like I'm slightly
Yeah,
off to the left.
Yeah, that course is going to get you pretty darn close.
Yeah, it works perfect. I didn't get that to climb though. That's interesting. I know I did. That's the reason. Okay, yeah, now I remember how to use this thing. Set your altitude, then kick in your feet per minute. Not that I really need to be climbing right now. I could probably just hold it. Okay. Nick, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Brilliant.
I had a few control issues, but
This,
I sorted it.
The BC pilot stud come by. I don't know if he was able to make it in.
Well, flying with us, he's on SU-10 as well.
Oh, there you go. Right.
So he's friends with.
So he'll see dark.
Island. Yeah.
Perfect.
I know he wasn't in the same server as me. I don't know where he's gone.
Well,
but I managed to give him the content role, so he should have been able to join the chat.
Well, I think we're going to be. I think we're going to be hitting some rain here, guys.
Yeah, it's raining. Peter Pete.
Indeed.
Forgot that Howard doesn't have windscreen wipers, does it?
Just in case. There shouldn't be any ice on it. Should be an ambient temperature gauge in here somewhere. I don't know. Do you get that? Do you get that on this kind of thing, Tim?
Get what?
Ambient air gauge, air temperature.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have them. We have RAM air temperature and static air temperature. We have both.
Yeah.
But there should be one on this. If it's not over to the right, look up into the window. What? There it is. All the way over on the right-hand side, kind of in the middle, vertically.
Oh, there we are. 30 degrees. Or
Yeah,
30 degrees
that's it,
centigrade.
35. 30, yeah.
Say about 80 Fahrenheit or so.
Yeah, close to 90. If you double it and add 32, that'll give you the Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
From Celsius.
Things that Americans know.
But we use Celsius. We don't use Fahrenheit in airplanes.
Well, that's really interesting because I mean, are you seeing more of a progression into metric now? Like, because one of the biggest probably differences would be fuel weight, because that pretty much everywhere else in the world now is kilos.
Yeah, not really. If we go to Mexico or any other place like that, then they'll use different measurements. But if we even give them the fuel in gallons, they'll convert it. I think in Mexico they were using. I think they were using liters.
Liters.
I think so.
Strange.
I can't remember. It was last summer, but yeah, I think they're
Liters.
using liters.
Oh. Well, Sean says it's 75 degrees Fahrenheit. There you go. Thanks, Sean. I knew it was round about 80. Maybe not quite as warm. Okay, now there is that airport's supposed to be off to the left there somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm gonna, gonna have to go hunting for it.
Be cool if you had to do an approach, but they don't have any approaches. But Bay St. Louis, just to the west of it, they do.
I think I was on a mission to avoid international airports on this one for some reason. I'm starting to regret it. So, okay. Anybody see an airport? Does anybody? You see the airport, Nick?
the airport is just after that, just after the intersection in between some trees. It's really hard to spot unless you're looking for it.
So it's just north of the tree to the left. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so as you're coming in, it's about half a mile after the intersection. It's literally, you've got to look for it in between some trees.
I can't see this airport.
It's on the left hand side.
Let's see, it looks like it's on a bit of a peninsula there. Actually, that's what I should be looking at, is use the water as my guide.
According to Navigraph, it's a north-south runway.
Okay, yeah, that's what it indicates on the map as well.
There's a highway that moves, was it
Oh, I
southwest?
see it. I got it.
It's just off the highway.
I got it. Alright. So I'm gonna do an overfly here. We'll do a circuit. Actually, based on the winds, we'll just kick it into downwind here. It's actually more of a crosswind. It keeps changing. It looks like it's fluctuating a bit.
Just check their METAR, and the winds are 130 at 6. So landing to the south.
Sounds about right. Yeah, it seems to be fluctuating between 4 and 5 right here. And 7. So yeah, 6 is probably about right.
So in real life, if you were doing multi-engine training, the instructor would be griping at you right now for being below blue line. I remember that from my multi-engine training.
Before you're on approach?
Yeah, because you wouldn't go below that speed until the runway's made. Because if the runway's made, the chance of doing a go-around is slim to none. And if you lose an engine, just glide down.
Yeah. I'll note that one.
I still remember my instructor, he'd always just randomly, blue line, all the way down, fine. Blue line. Yeah, that radial you put in was pretty darn close. Look at it centering right there, and you're on the short final. The CDI centered right there perfectly.
That's right, yeah. Displaced runway. Bit of a hard bounce. Not too bad.
I like how that windsock's sitting in the trees, but still indicating a wind direction. On the right.
Accuracy. Okay, sir, I'm gonna get off the runway here. Is there anybody else coming in? Nick, are you down yet?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a bit of a hesitation.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that hole on when we take off. Might be a hole in the runway.
Okay, it looks like we got a direct crosswind, so I think what we'll do is we'll just continue on to the end of the runway and just turn around and come back up.
Okay.
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over.
Yeah. Quite suitable. Quite suitable.
Are you sure you don't fly for Ryanair?
Be me?
Nick always seems to do his best stuff off camera.
Absolutely, yeah. No one's looking, and there's no pressure.
And Sean says they turned the lights on as I was coming in due to the rain, which helped. Yeah. Protect the trees, he says. Okay. So final destination. So what we'll do is we'll head up towards it. We're going to hit New Orleans, so I think we'll do a nice circle over New Orleans and then plunk it down. We should be just about near the end, and I can see J-Hog there. So J-Hog, where are you? You look like you're in the trees. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to do a quick fuel check. I got tons. Ooh, CG out of it. That's interesting. Very interesting.
So I have a request for this next leg.
Yeah.
If you take off and head to the west, it's Interstate 10.
Okay.
Follow that, and then go to the lake, or fly over the Lake Pontchartrain bridge. It's about a 15-mile long bridge. It'll take you almost right to the airport.
Okay. I've got the map open there. So is that over this lake here?
Yeah, to the west, Lake Pontchartrain.
So if
The bridge is a north-south bridge that goes over the whole thing.
Okay. So if I go directly west and then look for the bridge?
Yeah, you can't miss it. Yeah, you'll see. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That sounds interesting.
So it's probably.
You okay with that, Nick? Well, we'll just head due west. CG in red. Yeah, I fixed it, Sean. Oh. 47. Quick look
Yeah,
around.
for Lambton, there's a line going across the lake, so I'm presuming that is the bridge. It's massive.
North-south, yeah.
It's huge. I've flown over it, and that thing just goes on forever.
Okie doke.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's go. Just setting my... parking brake off. Okay. And nice we get out of this rain cloud as well.
Yeah.
I believe someone has joined us.
How well you can hear me, but I have.
Who's joined us? Is that Brendan?
Brandon.
How are you doing, sir? How are you? It's so nice to hear from you after your stream snubbed my chat comments.
You're not looking at it like that, are you?
Hey?
I don't know how well you guys can hear me, but it's nice to be here.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. How you doing, Brendan? How's life?
Yeah, really good, thank you. How's it for you?
Pretty good. I think it's all feels a bit weird and strange to be back in the cockpit again after a month off. And I don't know if you're watching when I had a rather spectacular bust. So yeah, I'll be licking my wounds after the stream, but yeah, we're doing great. It gives something for Nick to laugh at and Dark. So you know, at the end of the day, if I'm not providing
Very smooth landing.
it was. was indeed.
Cool.
I think I'll just keep it. I'm just going to stay at about 1,200 here, Nick, or 1,000. So we can get a good look at this bridge. More or less due west. Put in the heading mode. So this is fantastic. I mean, Tim. Now, Tim, you and Brandon know each other anyway, don't you?
Yes, we've talked many times.
And am I right that Brandon's the only person that actually knows what you look like?
He is. He's the only person that knows what I look like and that has actually seen my actual name. Yes.
Which is cool. So I don't know what you look like because, strangely enough, we've known each other for quite a while now, but we've never had a video call. So I can assign an avatar in my head. It could be I could either say Mickey Rourke. I think Quasimodo's probably going a bit too far.
Wow.
But the one that I actually want, the one that I'm actually going to assign is David Hasselhoff as featured in South Park when Mr. Garrison had a nose job.
I don't think I look anything like David Hasselhoff, and that would be a good thing.
No worries. So how did give us a bit of background then, Tim? How did you and Brandon connect together? Because I know obviously it was over aviation.
Yeah, through the YouTube channels, and then he had contacted me to do an interview on, I believe, Brandon, you might have to correct me on this, but I think it was to talk about if pilots will ever be replaced by robots.
Ah. Are you still with us, Brandon?
I am. I don't know how you can hear me. My reception.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, we can hear you.
But yeah, I emailed him after seeing him on YouTube. He was obviously a corporate pilot, so I was like, "Hey, have you got any ideas on this? Would you be up for a video call?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then it sort of went from there. So yeah, that's how we met, I guess.
And what conclusion did you guys reach?
It's a possibility, and obviously we haven't got a crystal ball, but not within the next 50 years. Single pilot operations maybe, but nothing more.
Well, it's something that I think it's Qantas is not Qantas. Sorry, I think Emirates is very interested in this idea because I know they're actively talking to Airbus at the moment, but it is very controversial.
You know, it's something that I thought that the public's perception of it has to be very good. If the public doesn't accept it, or that's not going to work. But airplane cockpits and systems are becoming easier, and with that being said, it could get to the point where you could have one pilot, but then people are going to say, well, what if the pilot has a medical emergency in flight? And that does happen. Pilots die in flight.
Absolutely. And
so for that, is it really worth having one pilot to save what? Versus if something happens to that one pilot,
yeah, I actually got an answer for that. And it's a combination of something that exists for train drivers, but with a modern technological edge. So what I think will happen, so trains have what they call what's the nickname for it? It's basically a dead man switch. Yeah, that they have to hit if it's called the alerter. That's what it's called. So it's light flashes us, and they have so much time to hit a button before. If they don't do it in such a time, the train will shut itself down and start braking. Modern trains, anyway. So now airplanes, obviously, that's a non-starter. But what I think will probably happen is there'll be an eye tracking element. So there'll be a sensor that sits on the cockpit dash that actually looks for the pilot's eyes. This is what I think will happen. There'll be a retinal recognition to it to some extent, so they'll have to calibrate it. And what that will do is it'll be constantly checking to see if it can detect the pilot's eyes. And if it goes for a period of time where it can't do it within 60 seconds, say, then maybe even less than that, then that will initiate a general alert in the cabin And I presume at that point that would also be wired up to the backup pilot to be sitting in, probably sitting in the bunks or something like that. So this only, I think, generally applies to long haul. Now, for regional, for me, this is a hard one. If something happens to that pilot, I know that we're seeing things with the TBM airplanes that can actually land themselves, and it is quite an impressive thing to see. But you are relying on a lot of things to go absolutely right, including air traffic controllers and also other pilots at a potential emergency landing airport doing what they need to do to make sure that plane can get down. I think there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. So I do kind of agree with you, Brandon. I don't know if it's quite 50 years, but certainly at least 20. That's my 2 cents. What do you think,
You've been
Tim?
watching too much iRobots.
And that system that you're talking about, Garmin made that. I forget what it's actually called, but
The automated landing system?
yeah,
It's impressive. There's a YouTube video. Yeah. And it actually handles all the ATC comms as well.
yeah. I don't think it actually talks to them. It squawks 7,500 or 7,700 for emergency.
Right.
But I think that's all that it does, and then it just finds out. It knows where you're at with GPS, nearest airport with an approach, and it'll go and shoot the approach, land, and actually put the brakes on.
Which is amazing.
And then
Really.
I don't know if it'll shut down. I think it might, but I'm not positive it shuts down on its own.
Mind you, if it can do all that, it's not a huge stretch for it to shut down as well, is it?
And Willie, I sent you a picture. It was taken on the 4th, and it's not politically correct, so I can't share it. But I sent it to your Discord.
Okay, no worries.
But I love the shirt. A friend bought me the shirt.
Call me Captain Intrigued. Nice little formation despite the rain clouds around us. So we got J-Hog there. J-Hog, I think, are you in an arrow? Looks like you might be. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. So I'll just do a quick check. And we're looking for a bridge. That's a north-south bridge. Is that right?
Yeah, you can't miss it.
I feel like if I just zoom in on the map here, am I heading the right direction?
You're aimed right at it, at the northern end of it.
Okay.
So here's one for you. You're saying about the automated landings and stuff, and sensors and everything detecting what the pilot's doing. But what we're doing now, do you think this will be part of the future? That there'll be someone on the ground that can just
Like remote flying. I mean, they do it with drones.
yeah.
Military.
Well, Sean's actually saying that. It says drone aircraft, Navy, Air Force.
Something happens, someone switches on, boom, and lands a plane remotely.
Yeah, they could.
I mean, they do.
But I
they
kind
do
of
it-
like the idea of having 2 pilots up there, being one. But even flying by myself, or just with another pilot, it's easy to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And as automated as cockpits are, even now, it's still easy to make a mistake. Program it wrong. Load in the wrong approach. I mean, there's a lot of
And I'm
room for human error, and at least if it's another pilot, they can catch it.
and I'm still not convinced that automated cockpits are infallible.
No, that's
Because-
like anything else. Like, look at your computer. How often is your flight simulator? How often does it crash? Just the program itself, it can. I mean,
Slightly bad example because the type of quality control that Flight Simulator goes through is nowhere to the level of what's required for an FAA certified aircraft.
Right.
But a good example of that would be the MCAS system on Boeing,
Yep.
who no longer self-certify for some strange reason,
Yeah. Well,
which never should happen in the first place. But
It's interesting.
sorry, Sean says my PC didn't cost 80 million. Good point. Sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that that chat I had last week with that first officer, he was saying that every now and again they'll still get a, what are you doing? What is this plane doing? And they then take over. So
Yeah.
the whole automation thing, it still does throw things into the mix. I think you you just go, hang on a minute, what are you doing? Have
And
I
that does
done
happen
something
quite
wrong?
often.
Again,
I had that just about about 2 weeks ago. Didn't approach, and the airplane started turning a different direction. What is this thing doing? Why is it doing that? And as soon as you have that thought in your head, or somebody says it out loud,
Go
that's
manual.
a good time to turn the autopilot off and hand fly the airplane. Make it go where you want it to go.
yeah.
And did you ever try to figure out what was happening at the time? Was there any kind of revelation after you landed?
Well, after we landed, we figured it out. I mean, we knew it, but we were on an approach just outside the final approach fix, and at that point, we just got the airplane where it needed to be, and then discussed it on the ground. And you do discuss those things because a lot of times it's user error.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
And the bad part, I was the user.
Yeah. Well, it's I guess live and learn is probably one of the key phrases in commercial aviation, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And you learn a lot. There's a lot of times you think, oh, I know how to do this. I've been doing this job for almost 20 years, but I still make mistakes, and everybody does. And it's what you do with the mistake that really matters. To make a mistake and then blame it on something else and move on, that's not good. But to realize why the mistake was made and what you can do to prevent it from happening again, that's what a person should do.
Yeah. Got you.
And then study the mistake.
Sean says, don't engineers keep track of latest passenger airlines? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Sean. OG the Olive says hello. Hi, he's over there on Twitch. How you doing, Olive? So great to see you. Having a good chat with Tim. Brendan, are you still with us?
Background.
So
I know what Sean's saying. Yeah, they isn't it the ACARS program or something? It's information about the systems on the aircraft is being sent down the whole time,
because even the engines, the
Yeah.
engines actually send out a message.
Rolls-Royce have their own data center or something, don't they? Where they can tell you
Well,
what
that
every
was
single engine is in the world.
because was it what Malaysia flight was that again that went over the 777? That was the only clue they had was the Rolls-Royce telemetry in terms of roughly where that airplane went. That was the only thing that they had to go on.
Do you think anybody knows where that airplane is?
I don't know. It is kind of getting into conspiracy level theory at the moment. Because there was always argument that there was a false flag operation. I don't know. I really don't know. Olive says, what's your airspeed knots for landing in a 320? It depends on winds, weight, Olive. But generally I would say it's around 135 to about 145 knots, depending on what you're doing. Bit of a random question. We're not flying in 320. Actually, Nick, Dark, do you want to field that answer?
What's that, sorry?
What is the airspeed knots for landing in an Airbus 320?
Depends on configuration. Flaps 3 or full. Your VAT speed is going to be around about 113 to 140, anywhere between there, depending on configuration, weight.
There you go. Much better answer than I could have provided. Yeah, this is a very big bridge.
24 miles long. It's just under 24 miles, but
it's actually two bridges.
it is.
So this is very similar to the bridges that go to the Florida Keys.
Except those, yeah, it's very close to those. Yeah, I've been on those bridges, and no thanks. It's one lane each way, no passing.
Oh, is it one lane? Oh God,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
In most places, there are some places where they have passing zones where it's 2 lanes on each, but for the most part, it's one.
Olive says 1:30. I land at around 2:30, and I land it like butter, and I only use half the runway. Okay, well, I suppose that's the difference between flight simulation and what you can get away with in real world. But whatever works. I mean, as long as you're having fun.
Airplanes on flight, some are very, very, very strong.
Yeah. Well, I fly I fly full realism settings. Everybody knows that if they watch the stream. So, oh, the bridge disappeared. No, it's coming back now. Excuse me. I guess we just followed this all the way to New Orleans.
Yeah, it'll get down to the shore and then hang a left to get to your airport.
Okay, cool.
This bridge under controversy with the Guinness World Records as the longest twin-span bridge over 126,000 feet.
This one here.
Yes.
Not sure. Sean says, "Don't tell Gavin. He'll try to go under it." Or Galen.
You
Gavin.
can go under bridges now in Flight Sim.
Which is cool. I'll never do it because I have no need to. But yes, that is a mighty bridge. No, thanks for the heads up on that, Tim. I probably would have gone right past it if we had known to do it.
Yeah, you definitely can't miss it if you're near it.
I've got a question for Brandon, if he's still with us. Brandon, how is your flight training going?
I was a bit hit and miss with lessons to start off with because weather was always getting in the way, or there was availability or college in the way. But I'm now trying to get in once a week around work, so that could be good. Getting close to 9 hours now, so
all right,
big numbers. Yeah.
I just found out my nephew did his first cross country solo yesterday. He's got one final bit of ground school to do, and I think he's got one more flight to do, and he'll be basically PPL territory, and he's only 17. So, but I guess what's your ambition, Brandon? Are you just looking for PPL, or do you want to go further than that?
But at the moment, I'm just aiming for PPL because I just want to fly for fun at the moment. I'm not too bothered about getting anywhere closer.
Yeah.
For now, I just want to enjoy it, really. I don't want to put that sort of stress on myself because a lot of people in the UK, if you come straight out of college like I did and you want to fly, people pay £100,000 to go and get everything integrated. And I really, one, don't have the money anywhere near. And two, it's a lot of pressure, you know, you're squeezing in full commercial training, exams, everything in a year and a half, 2 years.
It's a massive investment.
Yeah, and I don't think you can enjoy that as much as if you spread it out. And I would imagine if you spread your training out a bit more as opposed to squeezing it all in, but with a sort of production-like school, you become a better pilot because there's more time for you to do something wrong and learn from that, I guess. And you don't get cocky.
That's a good theory. What do you think about that, Tim?
Yeah, it comes down to a personal choice. It is a lot of money. It's expensive here. I mean, it's expensive everywhere. I think it's a little bit cheaper in the United States to get all your ratings, but it comes down to it's to go from 0 hours to being able to get a job in the airlines. It's probably $100,000 US in flight training at a minimum.
That 100,000 number seems to come up a lot, and it doesn't matter if it's dollars or pounds. It seems to just kind of graduate with every country, regardless of the currency being used. But yeah, it's lightning. Hey, don't know if anybody else.
It is a lot of money. The sad part is it takes about 2 years if you go quickly and get all your ratings as quick as you can. It takes about 2 years to get to the point to where you can go to a regional airline. Right now in the United States, regional airlines are paying anywhere from $100,000 to $120,000 a year with sign-on bonus.
Wow.
So it's good pay, but what are things going to be like in 2 years? Is the pilot shortage still going to be here? Is it going to be greater? Is it going to be less? Who knows? And aviation is very cyclical, and to put that much money into it, one area without having a backup is a gamble.
Yeah, quite right. I definitely agree with that. It's hard to say. I mean, I do follow a lot of different industry experts. I I think all of them do generally agree that there's still going to be a shortage for quite a while. And the biggest problem with that is because just the retirement generation, just a lot of the old captains are finishing. A lot of them walked away after the pandemic, never decided to come back because they were already far enough in their career that they just didn't see the point. So
they didn't need the money.
Yeah, so the pandemic, I think, created a black hole that nobody expected. Now, that black hole will probably be fixed eventually over a shorter period of time, but I still think you have the overall problem, which is the baby boomers are now walking away from the industry, or maybe not quite as old as but Generation Xers.
And it's not even as bad right now as it's going to get with mandatory retirements.
Yeah, exactly. Because what is it in the States? Is it 60 years?
Age 60 for airlines, for Part 121 carriers, yes.
Yeah.
But then those guys can retire and go fly corporate or charter, whatever they want to do, and still fly as long as they want, as long as they have a medical.
As long as you have a medical, yeah. I always laugh because you get Buffalo Airways, Buffalo Joe. He's some age and he was still flying scheduled flights up until about 3 years ago on a DC-3. So.
But they're looking here in the States of, there's a lot of people pushing to get them to lower the hours for airlines from 1,500 down to 1,200 or 1,000, but I hope they don't do that. They say that the changes imposed over the last few years to increase the minimums to 1,500 hours for an ATP haven't really stopped accidents from happening. But why go the other way? Why lower it just to fill seats and have very low experienced pilots in the seats, increasing the risk for innocent people in the back? I say keep it. They need to keep that requirement the same and don't lower the minimums.
Yeah, I agree.
For ATP.
I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. And Olive says, I love the storm effect. Yeah, the weather in Microsoft Flight Simulator is really, really fantastic. I always love it. It's one of these sims that you actually want the weather to be a bit kind of variable because it looks really cool. He says, I wish there were sandstorms or real water effects like tsunamis. I think they have talked about, not necessarily sandstorms, but I think they are talking about trying to do something in the way of hurricanes. So that if you... Yeah, go ahead there.
There's already one out for hurricanes and tropical storm tsunamis, but it's more single. It's more not. I can't put it. It's more like tutorials. You know, like your landing tutorials and stuff. You go out, you find it, like you complete. There's some integration into the presets, but you can't have it as live weather.
Yeah.
It's got to be a preset or a challenge. There's no in between, which I think kind of like sucks a little bit because it does, why would you want to do a challenge or a preset when you want to go live weather? I mean, for example, it's going to be coming up to what? Hurricane season soon. You've got typhoon season. You don't want to be going around and looking for all these hurricanes like many people did and having to use a preset just to find it.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't want to sound insensitive because obviously, hurricanes can be terrible things. But for the sake of argument, let's say it's over open water somewhere in the Caribbean. I think there's a huge desire. I certainly have it just to have that opportunity to go and hop in a jet in the sim and actually go see that hurricane. I think that'd be amazing. So hopefully, that's something that they can maybe do. But I don't know. I don't know how hard or how easy that is for a sim to reproduce that. Because, it's something you don't really see in professional simulators, Tim, is it?
No, I don't know. They don't have live weather. All the stuff in the professional simulators is set up by the instructor. Yeah. And it's always crappy weather at or below minimum. And it's funny, they'll get new visuals in a sim and they say, oh, check this out, look how good the graphics are. And then you never see the ground again. So most of the time we're going to the sky above the layer, but we don't see the unless we're on it or doing a visual approach.
Yeah.
A couple of mods on the FlightSim.to website which basically transforms the default 787 into a P-39. You can use the NOAA stuff.
All right, that's
A
cool.
lot of people go out, get the P-39 modded 747, NOAA livery scheme, get the SOFly, go out, you know, on a preset, and just go hurricane hunting like they do.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's quite cool.
I'd love to do kind of like, is it NOAA, the National Weather Service? I'd love to do like NOAA missions, that kind of thing where you have to go intercept. Yeah, and go get like readings. There's downtown New Orleans there. Ollie, just to answer to answer your question, we're flying to New Orleans. We're just flying over it right now. We're going to land. And Sean says it's a really hard job, lots of stress, and they have my utmost respect. Thank you to all the pilots for your dedication. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Sean.
I'd like to hear what Brandon's thinks of the SOFly stuff.
Use that. What did we I think I saw Swiss 001 do it, and I can tell a lie. I have tried some of their stuff out, their landing calendars, but the weather one with the hurricane, as you say, it's pretty cool, but it's very limited at the moment. It would just be really cool if there was some way to integrate it into live weather. And I do believe, I might be completely wrong, but I think Asobo are opening it up to Sim Update 10 to developers. So we should see.
Yeah, it's what they call the WASM interface, which is whoa, got a nice little lightning. We got lightning, folks. Very cool. Just trying to locate the runway here. It's probably landing just in time. Sorry, Brandon, I interrupted. Please continue.
WASM and Sim Update 10 it could open up a lot more doors to developers, so it'll be interesting to see what they do, especially for Xbox as well. It's a big thing for Xbox, because of course you can still kind of get around it on PC with external applications. So I know Airland FS, which sort of does helicopters, that's a get around, but of course you can't do anything like that for Xbox. So if anyone's flight simming on there, Sim Update 10 is going to be big, I think.
Yeah, I think so. There's so much coming in it, isn't there? Because there's a lot of technical things like DLSS and improved DX12, I think, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot more options in terms of how you use and apply those tools as well, which is really cool.
That I don't get, which is why I haven't really gone into great detail of it on any of my videos. But there's a very technical side to it. But yeah, it's very exciting.
And I mean, so because we've got one of the premier flight sim news guys on the channel with us today, Brandon. What are your predictions for the next 6 months? What do you think we're going to see?
September's probably going to be the biggest month. September, November. That's basically just late, early winter, late autumn. Purely because of the 40th anniversary update. So that brings over, of course, the freeware IndySim A310, which is going to be massive. I mean, I don't even know how it's going to work on Xbox. It'll be weird to see how it is on there, but just for PC, a freeware, and I don't like using this term, but everyone uses it, so I'm going to chuck it in there, but study level A310 is going to be exciting.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to the Inabuilds. Yeah, I agree. And I've got a theory, Brandon. I think they might resurrect Meg's Field for the 40th anniversary.
When they said previous airfields of significance, it's got to be up there. I mean,
I hope so.
Every flight sim before FSX, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, but that for me, that would be just the pinnacle. I seem to catch a bit of a wind there. Don't know what was happening.
And I hope they do bring Meg's Field back. I've actually been fortunate enough to land there probably about a dozen times.
You flew there?
Oh yeah, I've been there quite a few times. Yeah.
Oh,
I went
amazing.
there. They shut it down, and then I was on a trip to Midway, Chicago Midway. Myself and the pilot, we drove over to the old MiG site probably about a year after it shut down, and it was an absolute ghost town. The terminal building, there was like hardly anybody in it. We walked to where the old Signature FBO was, and it was weird because the last time we were there, it was just busy, wall-to-wall people. And walk in there now, There's nothing. I mean, it's a ghost town. That place, what they did to it, that is the biggest waste of manpower and just sheer stupidity to tear up that airport.
Totally agree.
Nobody uses it.
Totally agree. It was all in the name of, it was green space or something they wanted to create, because it was it was the mayor, wasn't it? It was the mayor that was.
Yeah, Mayor Daley, his wife wanted to park there. That was always her dream, to have a park there. And then he's hated that airport for the longest time. They took the bulldozers out at midnight, and there were still like, I think 12 or 15 airplanes on the ramp in the middle of the night. They took bulldozers to it. I think those guys take off on taxiways.
I mean, it just goes to show how nasty it was.
It's Chicago politics.
Yeah. But I completely agree. It's an airfield that never should have been taken away. There was a lot of controversy surrounded it. I'd love to see it back in the sim as a monument to just the heritage of Flight Simulator. I mean, you're going back to 1979 or something like that. I think even back then it was still considered to be Meigs Field at the time. And of course, I mean, anybody that's grown up with Flight Simulator, even up to, when was the last version that had Meigs? Was it Flight Simulator 2000? Maybe 98.
I think, no, 2000 had it, because I think Flight Sim X did not have it.
Yeah, I think that's.
FSX had it as an add-on.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, like that you could. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a freeware one out there anyway.
I think there's one out there now for this one for FS or.
But,
really good, definitely.
But can you imagine? Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Brenda.
There is a payware Meigs Field out at the moment. I think I took a look at it on my channel like a year and a half ago.
Right.
It was really good, actually. Really well modelled. I had a quite nice terminal interior as well before they sort of became mainstream.
Right.
So yeah, quite cool.
Maybe worth checking out.
Wish they'd bring the Pearl Airport back. Every time we fly to Midway and then head out to the east, it's always one that we're always looking out the window like, oh, there's old Meigs Field. And it's the same conversation. It's such a shame what they did. Because we all loved that airport. I never went there in a jet. I went there in Cessna 172s, but still, it was a neat airport, and a reliever airport. Anybody that wanted to go downtown, it's right there. It was super, super convenient.
Yeah. And I mean, there was such a massive argument for emergency measures as well. If you had like a city emergency, it was such an important airport to have.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, I don't know. It's really such a shame. Shark Kitty, I don't know if you can do me a favor if you're still listening. Could you paste links for Tim's stream and for Pilot Stud's stream in the chat for me? That'd be great. All right, I'm just wandering around aimlessly right now, so I'm just going to park on this taxiway here.
I did wonder, I'll just be following you.
I was just looking for something obvious, like an obvious parking area, and I can't see anything, so I'm just going to stop there. That's fine. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, well, it was certainly an adventure today, and I don't know how we've almost pretty much landed on time. But there you go. Yeah, apparently I can walk and chew gum at the same time as long as it's not the first landing.
I posted a video, or a link in the chat to a video I made flying to the world's busiest airport in the 1920s. And Meigs Field, I found a picture from an old like airport facility directory or chart supplement from 1927 that has a picture of, or a sketch of the Chicago area. You can see Chicago Midway, and then off to the east is Meigs Field, where it just says proposed airport or something on it. It didn't even have a name yet.
Amazing. Thanks for that, Shark Kitty. Also, if you could find Pilot Studs as well. Actually, I could probably do it myself. Yeah, but I think that was actually a quite enjoyable flight. I kind of just threw this together on a whim. The flight plan was a bit squirrely, so apologies for that. The presenter couldn't fly worth a damn on the first landing, so apologies for that. But Tim and Brandon, it's such a delight to have you both on the same stream today. It's absolutely brilliant to have you on today. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're
Good
welcome.
fun.
So I think we'll do a walk through the crowd. Nick, any closing thoughts on today? And is it good to be back?
Yeah, no, hey, it's good to be back. A bit rusty.
Yeah, very much so. It's evident I'm rusty.
I haven't stepped in this for 4 or 5 weeks, but yep. No, good.
And Dark, how about yourself?
Yeah, I loved it, even though it was lonely for most part of the flight. But, you know, having a private jet show by pilot stud, hey, I can't complain.
Well, that horrible sim update 10, and that's not going to really sort itself until we get the official release, which sounds like it's going to be the end of August, I think. So we'll watch this space and see what happens. But hey, you know what? We still had you on Vox. Always great to have you. And thanks for the company, mate. It's really great to have the team back, and hopefully we'll have Kevin and Shark Kitty back on in the coming streams as well. Brandon, I'll go to you. Mate, thank you so much for dropping by. I'd love to have you again, and we'd love to really talk a lot about kind of your thoughts on where the industry's going, some of your favorites, some of your not so favorites, and some of your hopes. If you would be willing to come back on and join us on Positive Rate.
Thank you for letting me come in. It's been good fun. Really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And Tim, you're my brother, you're my friend. It's always great to hear from you, mate, and it was so great to get you on the stream today.
Yeah, likewise. It was random, but that's sometimes the fun of it.
Absolutely. So, in saying that, I'm going to wish everyone a good night, and thank you for everyone, all of who joined us today. Please do sub and follow. It really helps us out, and we'd love to see you back. And Sean, always great to see you, mate. Beluga was with us earlier as well. I did see Dwax at some point. So, yeah, you know, everybody back. I haven't mentioned your name. I do apologize. Always happy to see all of you here. And again, we should be back up to full strength with the team within a couple of weeks or so, as we get closer to the autumn. But Vroden, yes, Vroden, quite right. Thanks, Sean. Vroden, if you're watching, great to see you as well soon, and hopefully you'll fly with us coming up soon. But anyway, we'll do the rounds. I'll say good night to Nick,
Good night, everybody.
and I'll say good night to Dark Fear,
Good night, all.
and good night to Tim.
Good night, but it's not night here yet.
Well, it's not even night in the simulator either. So, and
I have it here until 5. I still have an hour to wait. Even for that.
fair enough. And Brandon, good night to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
For having me.
And that's a good night for me. We'll see you again next week right here on Positive Rate. We'll go back to regular scheduled programs, so you will see postings for our next stream in the coming 2 days or so. And yeah, just have a great one. And we'll see you guys soon. All the best. Take care.